All right, so welcome back to Blue Thumb Adventures. I'm Ashley and I'm gonna show you how I came up with a cheap way to do in-bed composting or vermicomposting. It's basically a worm bed, but where you can just throw your kitchen scraps directly into the bed, and the worms will then leave all of their lovely castings all over your garden bed. So you have two options. So there's this size. It's the little metal mesh looking container. So I got this from the Dollar Tree, and then here's the full trash can size one, bathroom trash can size. My beds are only 12 inches deep, so I don't think I'm gonna do this size, or maybe I will. I was thinking of using these, but I could probably fit more. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with the big one. So let me dig my hole here. Dig your hole. I had every intention of using that small one, thinking that the bigger ones were going to be too deep for my bed, but I think I'm going to roll with it. And again, this came from the Dollar Tree, so $1.25. And let's see. Right. So I'm thinking about there. Looks right. And I'm just gonna fill the dirt back in around it. Just a little bit. All right, now that I've got that in there, what I've done is these are toilet paper and paper towel rolls. And I have just cut them up, so I just have the household save them, and then I cut them up to use for different things in the garden. So what I'm gonna do first is just do a little layer at the bottom here. Maybe 2 handfuls of cardboard. You can use cardboard from anything. That's just what I had, so I was just reusing at the bottom. Then we're gonna add some compost. Give me a second, I'm gonna go grab it. Alright, so the compost I have is the mushroom compost. You get this for just a couple bucks at Lowe's. Now, the point of the in-bed composting system is that the worms, you can just throw your scraps in here. The worms break it down and move throughout your bed, putting the worm castings everywhere, so essentially feeding your bed continuously for you. So with that, with the container like this, the worms can get in and out of these holes. So that's how they get in and out. I'm gonna do another layer here. Just a layer of some compost. And then, now, if you don't already have worms in your garden, you can purchase worms from, well, wherever you can purchase worms. The red wigglers are the ones that I have, and they're throughout the garden. I have another worm compost thing like this in the flower bed. I actually did it completely different. I used a pot, put holes in it, and all of that, but this was a lot easier, and I think it'll look a little bit better. So what I am doing, because this is a raised bed and I don't believe there are any worms in here yet, I know the worms will work their way through the garden and find where they need to go, but I'm just going to kind of jumpstart this, especially for the video. So I've got the cardboard at the bottom. I've got some compost. I'm going to wet it just a little bit. Let me get the hose. Alright, so I'm going to wet in here just a little. Get a little moisture going there. Then I'm going to let that soak down just a bit. Alright, so for the purpose of this video, I took 2 little worms out of one of my other beds. Let's see. Can you see them? So I'm just going to put them in here to kind of jumpstart. And set them in there. Then I'm going to add some food. So this that I'm adding is kale and lettuce scraps. So I wasn't going to take it into the kitchen because they had some bug damage and whatnot. They were still edible, but I offered them to Bleu, our bunny, first, and he ate what he wanted, and what he didn't want I just kind of chopped up, and I am putting that in here. The reason I cut it up a little instead of putting it whole is so it's not as hard for them to kind of break down. And so now when you're, cooking and your normal stuff that you would put kind of in your compost bowl or whatever you use to then either compost into the garden or maybe you throw it away, you can just walk out or put it in a bag, and then when you come out to water your garden or whatnot, just throw it in your worm bed or your worm bin, and you're not wasting it, and they're continuously feeding the garden. So I put in that kale. Now I grabbed all of the stuff for the smaller container, so hopefully I have enough supplies, but if not, whatever. You'll get the concept. So I put the food in there. I'm gonna put some more of the cardboard. The worms really enjoy, I don't know if it's the moisture in it that they use or even if they break down the cardboard, I'm not really sure. But I'm gonna put the rest of what I have in there. And then I'm just gonna take some straw, which is what I mulch my beds with anyways, after I fill this in, of course. And I am gonna go through and mulch my bed in a little bit, but I just added new soil, or topped off the soil in this bed. That's why it looks like this. But I will be mulching the rest of the bed soon. So the top of my bed will look like this. Hay. I say hay. It's straw. So I'm just going to throw that on top. So kind of keep in the moisture. It'll break down and compost into the bed over time anyways. But the top of my bed is going to have this. So once the whole bed has it, you can kind of imagine if I do this, you won't really see the basket. And I can even add more food and more compost, things like that in here, or even more hay. And then when I need to feed it, all I have to do is move the cardboard and compost to the side a little, drop the food in, and put it back. And just like that, we're good to go. So that is how I do the in-bed worm composting. Now, yes, I only put 2 worms in here, but worms multiply like crazy. So I'm hoping with just the 2, they will recreate many, many more worms in this bed. They'll go in and out of these holes, traveling around, leaving their worm poop everywhere and feeding my garden. Hopefully making it so I have healthier plants and less work for me in the long run. Also makes me feel a little better not just throwing away my scraps. I do have a big, well, the compost bin that you spin, but I will tell you I've had that for, I don't know, maybe 8 months, and I either don't put stuff in it, or the stuff that I do put in it, it's probably so dry and not doing anything for me because I live in Arizona and we just now left the hundreds, even though it's the very end of October. So you need to add water to it to kind of keep the stuff moving in there, and I definitely don't. So I'm thinking maybe I need to move that closer to the garden so I utilize it more. But in the meantime, this will work. I won't waste anything. Plus, I have twins and they are 4 and they love the worms. They think they're pets. So they will also be excited to come feed the worms, which they think are their pets. So it's kind of like a family affair. But this is a cheap way to have some in-bed worm composting. So kitchen scraps, cut up some cardboard that you have around the house, either your Amazon boxes or your toilet paper rolls like I did. This is $1.25 from the dollar store, or from the Dollar Tree if you don't want one as deep. They also have this size, which I actually bought more of because this is what I thought I was going to use. But that's okay. I'll use them maybe in a shallow area I have or something like that. But yeah, so I hope maybe this gave you an idea. Let me know down below if you do something like this or if it's something that you think you maybe want to try. Like I said, super inexpensive and basically free plant food. These worms are gonna do a lot of work for me, which I'm pretty excited about. So we'll kind of watch the progression of the plants and see how they work. So let me know how you like the video. Go ahead and comment down below if you've done something like this or you've seen something like this before, or maybe even if you have some tips on how to make it better, or if it's something you plan on trying. I'd love to know. And make sure that you share and subscribe. I'd love to have you on this journey. Again, I'm a very beginner gardener. I used to garden in pots on my patio in apartments, but never even in a raised bed size scale, and now I have multiple. So we're kind of in this together. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me know how you like this, or if you think it'll work, or what ideas you have to maybe improve it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Have a good day. Until next time.